Do I like Hulk Hogan? No, I don't. I think he's a phony piece of shit.
Bret the Hitman Hart is one of the all-time great wrestlers in pro wrestling history. The man is known for excellence of execution, as well as the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. One of the things that he loves to do, aside from putting quality matches or great at artistic drawing, is that he loves to hate a bunch of wrestlers he really despises. Many wrestling fans might remember that he used to hate Vince McMahon and Shawn Michaels due to egos, backstage politics, and mainly the Montreal Screwjob. Now that all these men have buried the hatchet in the past, Bret Hart wouldn't stop hating on other wrestlers who he believed they're the reasons for trying to ruin his career. So let's take a look at every moment where Bret Hart truly loves to hate one of the most all-time great wrestlers, Hulk Hogan. Enjoy this compilation video of Bret Hart's rant on the immortal Hulkster.
Where's he at, man? Where's Macho Man at? Where's he at?
You know, hanging out in the bar with Owen, and remember Hulk, who, you know, he could always stir up shit, you know. And he was stirring up the Legion of Doom. He was stirring up the Legion of Doom, and he got them all worked up, and I remember Hawk.
Why's that?
Vince was against it, dude. I would have done business with you, man.
Yeah, well, that's not really true, you know.
It probably isn't.
Vince called me to his office in
The Poconos?
Halifax, and he said that we were going to wrestle.
I was close.
In the SummerSlam. Remember that?
No.
Yeah, well, that's real convenient, Terry, you know.
Thank you, brother.
Remember, we did the
karaoke in Des Moines?
The tug of war with the belt.
Oh, yeah, that.
Know what I'm talking about?
I sure don't. What's so funny?
That's the damn problem with you, Terry, you know.
What problem, brother?
You can't remember shit.
No kidding. I'd forget my mustache if it wasn't attached, dude.
Why wouldn't your mustache be attached?
In case maybe I had to do some double secret probation, funky chicken espionage type of thing. I don't know, man. I'm Hulk Hogan.
Well, I'm still mad at you, Terry.
What? Now, why, brother?
Fucking seriously. Because you never put me over, said I wasn't in your league.
Wait, hold on, brother. I meant that you're the National League because you're from a nation, man, and I'm from the American League because my country 'tis of thee, Jack.
I know all about the leagues, Terry. And the fact of the matter is you're not even in a league.
Oh, man.
You're 20,000 leagues under my ass.
Is that in Canada?
Shut up.
Made you laugh, brother?
Yeah. So,
dude, why don't we just call Vince Jr. and settle this biz all shiznit?
Yeah, okay, I have his number.
Good, because I don't even have a phone, brother.
You're holding it.
Oh.
Hello?
Vince, yeah, this is Bret Hart and Hulk.
Hey, Vinny, Daddy Jack.
Can you calm down, please?
Gentlemen, notwithstanding the two of you calling me, what in the hell do you want?
In 1993...
Remember when...
sorry.
No, you go.
Would somebody please ask me the damn question?
Yeah, okay, remember when you said it would be Hulk against me in the SummerSlam?
Of course I do, pal.
See, I told you.
What?
Terry Dingleberry.
No, but, Vince, you told me I'd be losing to Yokozuna. You never mentioned Bret Hart.
Of course, pal. I never said you'd be rustling Bret Hart.
Yes, I knew it.
Wait a second, you know,
I gotta go. Getting a haircut, and then from there, gonna go fuck some shit up. Later, you losers.
Terry, I think he just lies to both of us.
Well, what's wrong with that? Hang on, let me get that. Gorilla?
Hi, yeah. Will you stop?
Bret Hart say that I destroyed his career because I had the pencil, you know, but then, you know, he's hated Vince, and he's hated Flair, and he's hated
Goldberg.
Bischoff and Goldberg. Everybody hates everybody. So, I mean, I don't know where I fall in line there, but...
You don't know where you are on the hating?
I don't know. Well, the funny thing was last time I saw him...
Will you ever try to reach out and make right?
Oh, if I saw him, well, the last time I saw him, I was in a WWE locker room, and I was being called to go to the gorilla position. And when I opened the door, Natty, who I love to death, was standing there with Bret. I go, "Hey, Bret, how you doing?" I shook his hand real quick. I didn't think he realized I did it.
You stole one.
No. I said, "Hey, Bret, how you doing?" He stuck his hand out. I shook it real quick, and I was gone before he even realized it was me, I think.
Much like you did with Macho Man before.
What's that?
You guys, made up.
Who, Bret?
Yeah.
No, we haven't talked at all.
No, but I'm saying you should do that with everybody.
Oh, I'd love to.
I think it would be.
Oh, I love Bret to death. I think he's cool as hell, man. But I don't know, bro. It is what it is with your career. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, especially with where the business is.
I'll put it to you this way: if you could have done any better, you would have.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. I respect that, and it's about everybody. That's every sport, by the way.
But everybody makes their own deal, brother.
That's not just professional wrestling.
Yeah.
It happens.
I heard like something a few months ago where
Hulk Hogan was talking about me, and he said the problem with Bret Hart is that he really does think he was the greatest wrestler of all time. And I remember thinking about that and going, yeah, maybe. Like that might be the most truthful thing he's ever said. And then I think, when you watch a lot of the wrestlers today, you don't see anybody imitating Hulk Hogan or Ultimate Warrior. You see a lot of the wrestlers today really trying their best to capture my style, or some of the guys that I worked with, like Dynamite Kid or Kurt Hennig and my brother Owen and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, they're wrestling my style, and that's the biggest compliment that I can get from today's generation. Is that I don't remember much of it other than hearing about it and sort of seeing it. I never knew what happened, and I still don't. I don't know. Hulk Hogan's always been such a liar, like you never know whatever he tells you is probably not true. Macho Man, I'd go by his account of things. Macho Man was a much more reliable, the guy that really spoke the truth. But I don't remember. He wasn't the first wrestler to show up in the dressing room with a black eye. It's not like it doesn't happen. I can think of lots of situations where somebody showed up the next day with a long tale about how they end up with a shiner or worse. And so it wasn't the first time it happened, although I will say that I remember being a pretty good shiner.
His career, I don't think a lot of people love the way that thing ended. I certainly didn't. And we saw you talk about that in the documentary. So, I mean, I just love to just hear your thoughts about this past week.
You can never deny what Hulk Hogan did. Like his footprint in the wrestling business will always be huge. Like maybe as big as it ever is going to get. I never ever thought, like when they made me champion. Like when Hulk Hogan left WWF in 1992, and he wasn't at SummerSlam 92. It was WrestleMania 8 when I fought Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper was one of the few guys that reached down and pulled me up to his level. Helped pull me up. So I went to wrestle Bret Hart because I wanted to make him. And Roddy Piper made me and contributed back to the next generation. But there was a lot of wrestlers that didn't do that. Hulk Hogan never did that for anybody. He never pulled anyone out.
Talk that talk, Bret.
He only did it for Jake Roberts. And I look at Jake Roberts and I look at Hulk Hogan. There's just two guys. But they gave them one superstar after another. Ricky Steamboat, like Hulk Hogan, when I got to WWF in 1984, there was such a smorgasbord of bad guys. Piper and Orndorff, a guy from Bob Orton, and you can just look at him. It was Kamala and Killer Khan and Bundy, and there was just so many. It was like a candy box. Like I'll take that one, and I'll work with him next month. Like he had such a lineup of guys to work with. The best villains in the history of wrestling, 1984. That all made Hulk Hogan one after another, after another, after another. It's like Jake Roberts, Ricky Steamboat, and this guy, Macho Man. And they never ever lost, always got their hands raised. Then 1992 comes along and it's like, they're going to give me this big push. There's nobody there, there's nobody left. I didn't have anybody to work with when I won the belt, really, not any monsters anyway. And, that's what I always think is that when I always felt that when like 1992, things were just like the elevator was just falling right to the bottom of the building. Like everything was sinking fast, so fast. And they were in trouble. Hogan was off, the steroid scandal that he had at that time, where he said he never took it. All that left up, hurt the business. And Hulk's his shtick was kind of getting a little tiring at that point. People had seen it, people had seen all that. I don't know how I got picked. It wasn't like I went, hey, I get rid of Hulk Hogan because I'm the guy. Or like, I never had any say in, like when I found out I was going to be world champion, I was the first one to find out. Like it was like a shock.
That's a surprise to you too.
Yeah, I didn't expect it, but I was sort of grateful for it. I always felt like everything was falling so bad, and it was like Vince had to figure out something, and it's like sticking on him, and especially because I was pretty safe bet. Like I wasn't a guy that was going to get, busted for having a couple ounces of coke in my bag, like Jake Roberts might have. And I wasn't the guy that was going to fail my drug test, and I wasn't the guy that was going to get caught by a girl, an underage girl, and have some sex.
Somebody said a minor.
I was a really safe bet, and that's why Vince picked me to be the champion, because I need somebody that's not going to drop the ball, that's not going to have any scandals of any kind. I can't take any more scandals, and so it's like, you know what, stick it on Bret Hart, stick it on me, and I wasn't expecting it, but I stepped up to the plate, and I always thought, the day I won the belt, I always thought Hulk Hogan would come up and pat me on the back and tell me how glad he was that I was the guy that he picked to pull the sword out of the stone for him. And, unfortunately, that's not how it was. The second I won the belt, that was the enemy. I had what he wanted, and we were never really friends ever again. But I had nothing to do with anything. I was always honest, and I would say he was, I don't know if you just, sometimes you go to, like when I was a little kid, you go to school, elementary school, there's just always some kids that are bullshitters, that just tell bullshit, and are just classic bullshitters, and it's just the way they are. Sometimes you get a kick out of kids that are like that. And I think Hulk Hogan was a bullshit.
Let him know. Let him know, Bret.
He was a great guy, a great star, I got along really good with Hulk for years. In fact, I was one of Hulk Hogan's first matches. And so I helped make him right from day one. When he didn't know how to do it, only all he knew how to do was a bear up. And I remember going out there and making them. And, I was a young guy, and I was happy to do that for him. And, I was good friends with Hulk. I was in Japan with him. I wrestled, when I worked at WWF, I always worked his undercards. He was the star. I remember I had so much respect for him, and was always a friend to him. And when he was on top from 84 to 94, it's a long time to be wearing the crown. And, I just thought, I always will shake my head, wonder what it was that, why he was such a roadblock for me. Like he wouldn't do anything for me, and he made sure, and I know this to be a fact, he made sure that, like when I was in WCW, he made sure that they didn't do anything with him. Like, don't do anything with him. Just leave him. Let him sit in the bench in the dressing room. They'd fly me down. WCW would fly me down in first class airfare, first class car rental, first class hotel, first class everything. And then when I got to the building, they tell me I was off. And I just fly on. That's how stupid they were. They were the stupid kids. He was an absolute moron. I can't say anything about WCW, how stupid they were. They were a bunch of dumbest idiots I ever.
I'll say this, and again, I feel like I'm speaking for a lot of fans here. I don't care what the numbers were in 92. I don't care what sales were or anything like that.
I don't want to talk about Hulk Hogan, but he had said a few months ago that, and I was watching this on I found on the internet or something, but he said something. The problem with Bret Hart is he really thinks he's the greatest wrestler of all time. And he's right. And I really do feel that I was the best wrestler of all time, or at least so far. And I don't see anybody beating my storytelling or my wrestling style.
Do you have any more Bret Hart's ranting moments that's being left out from this video? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, let me know your thoughts on what you think of Bret Hart hating on the Hulkster. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to Mr. Steve Wrestling, and hit the bell icon for more wrestling content like this one. Don't forget to check out every other video made from this channel. Tune in next time for more Bret Hart's rant videos on other wrestlers, especially Bill Goldberg. Until next time, thanks for watching. Hope to see you again in the next one.